So, with there being more parity in the NBA than ever, today I want to discuss the teams that I think are actual contenders and that can actually make it to the finals and win it all. So with that being said, let's get into our first team. The first team I want to talk about today is the defending champion, Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets are one of the best teams in the league, and they have a lot of versatility, even coming off of their bench, but their core is just so strong. And even if we look at how Jokic and Jamal Murray are just perfectly able to play off each other in pick and roll situations, or just the absolute chemistry that Jokic and Aaron Gordon have together, I feel like he always knows where he is on the court. But if you actually sit down and watch the game, Jamal Murray is always going ballistic. This man is clutch for this team. Not to mention they have a two-time MVP Nikola Jokic. They have Michael Porter Jr. who can just shoot the rock effortlessly. They just have perfect pieces. Not to mention, we got to give him his credit. Every time I watch this Nuggets team, someone who stands out is Caldwell Pope. This man always is able to defend well and hit clutch shots for this team. Man, I miss him being on the Lakers. But I gotta give this team their props. They're the defending champs and they're still playing amazing, even though they're not the same team from last year. Let's get to the next team. The very next team is a very risky team because they time in and time out figure out a way to fumble the bag. But we are talking about the Clippers. I think the Clippers could easily make a run to the finals, but they have to do a few things. One, everybody has to show up. I can't see James Harden do what he always does and make it to the playoffs and he's not going to show up. Paul George, you also have to show up. These two, if they can both show up together, then this team is straight. Russ, I think, is going to be able to do his thing. Kawhi, he's always him time in and time out. The next problem with this team is health. Kawhi, very injury prone. Russell Westbrook coming off an injury. So they need to get that straight. Plus, they match up kind of interesting with a few teams. Specifically teams that are big dominated. So the Lakers or the Nuggets. I think those two teams are really going to be able to give them fits. So that's going to be a major problem. But other than that, this team has the depth that they need. They have Terrence Mann. They have Norman Powell. They have everything. They have the floor spacing. They have the top player. All they have to do is execute. And they have everything in their hand. But the Clippers will probably figure out a way to mess this up. So let's take our talents to the Los Angeles Clippers. Big bro, let's go to the Los Angeles Lakers. And yes, some people might think I have the Lakers ranked way too high on this list for me. I'm doing all Western Conference teams first, and then I'm going to be getting to the East. But trust, bro, the Lakers are kind of nice. The moment that we switched them, played with the lineups a little bit, we've been looking significantly better. And also, we have the GOAT, LeBron, Raymond, James. Come on now. This man always steps it up in the playoffs. Matter of fact, can we get a moment of silence for Big Bron?
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray.
He's been looking really healthy this year. I think that we match up great with everyone else that I just named, other than the Nuggets. The Nuggets kind of have our number. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what we're going to do. I do not know what we're going to do. We just cannot stop them. But other than that, everybody else, we can hang with them. They can't hang with us like that. AD, bucket. Braun, bucket. Not to mention we have AR-15. If D'Lo can translate, that's all we need. If D'Lo can translate, we actually might have a chance. This team is phenomenal. We have the pieces. I need to see LeBron take over. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to see none of this. Oh, I'm going to give the keys to AD. AD can have the defensive keys, LeBron. We can also run the offense through AD, and you need him to show up. But when it's clutch time and AD can't get it going because it's eventually going to happen, LeBron, lock in. I need all the fuck you threes to go in as possible, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. Don't just be chucking a bitch. I need you to hit those. I need Game 6, Heat versus Celtics, LeBron James. I need you to turn back that fucking clock. Let's get it done. Now, the next team I want to talk about that I have on my list is a very interesting team. Some people also might think this team is a little too high, but I got the Dallas Mavericks. Now, hear me out. I think that this is the best squad that Luka Doncic has ever had built around him. And I've seen Luka carry some interesting teams very far in the playoffs. And Luka's a player I don't want to bet against. I legit, if Luka could find legitimate success, he's a top 2 player in this league. That's how talented he is by himself. Not to mention players like Kyrie, who's going to be clutch time for him. I'm literally recording this not too far after he hit that game winner over the Nuggets. And they just got better role players. Daniel Gafford, phenomenal player to have on this team. You have another player, PJ Washington, he's a bucket for this team. I think Luka being able to play a little more off ball and knowing when to dominate and when to really get his teammates open is going to take this team to a whole nother level. And that's all they need. I'm not going to lie to you. They could easily upset this Clippers team. I don't know why. Luka, when he plays against the Clippers, he kind of gives them fits by himself. This is a new Clippers team, but every time he gives them fits by himself, they figure out a way to pull it out. But this is a different Luka. This is the most dangerous version of him possible. Alongside with his new teammates and role players, he can get the job done. Now this next team I want to talk about, they have a really high ceiling and a really low floor. I'm talking about the Phoenix Suns. So the one thing that's good about the Phoenix Suns is KD, if he can just be himself, I don't even need him to elevate. If he can just be himself this year, I think that's going to be phenomenal for the team. But Devin Booker in the playoffs, every year he elevates. Like, he plays so good that it's really a conversation sometimes. Like, who's the number one on this team? Is it Devin Booker or is it KD? And I'll always give the nod to KD because I think he's bringing in so much of the defensive coverage. It leaves Booker to get all these great shots. But this man Booker is a killer on this team. And we got to implement Bradley Beal into the mix. Yeah, he's nice. He's not what he used to be. Little washed from what he used to be. But he's still a very nice player and he's a great scorer. The major problem with this team, health. The fact that between these three, KD has been the healthiest is insane, dog. This man KD is not that great at being on the court consistently. He always gets hurt every year. But this year he's been really good. So that's one problem with this team. Another problem is the depth of this team. It's really lacking, but they do have an ace in the hole. Their biggest X factor is Bobo. If this man can get it going for this team, he can be a starting player easily. He's a bucket, he's tall, and they have other integral pieces such as Royce O'Neal, who's a great defender, Grayson Allen, who I did not believe, I'm going to keep it a buck 50, I never believed in Grayson Allen, but he's hooping on this team, and Eric Gordon, who's giving them solid production. This team has potential. I'd be worried with a certain team like the Nuggets because their center position is not the greatest. But I legit think if this team can lock in, they could go far. If we really look at it, they were able to take that Nuggets team to 6 games. And they've only gotten even worse. And the Suns have gotten better. So this is a very interesting team that could climb or fall on this list. But let's get to the next team. Now, starting with the Eastern Conference, my favorite to come out is the Boston Celtics. Come on. This team, I legit think that they might have the best starting lineup in the league. Might have the best team, like as in all-around players in the league. If we look at Tatum, Brown, Drew Holiday, Kristaps, already a crazy starting lineup. Then you get into players like Derek White. Oh my God, he's so effective on defense for this team. He can knock down clutch shots. You get into other players like Al Horford for this team. This team just has insane depth. The only problem is their 2 stars. They're very inconsistent. I feel like when I watch the Celtics, I tend to see either Tatum's going off and Brown's not playing well, or Brown's playing well and Tatum's not playing that great. They can't ever just do it at the same time. And they both need to show up for this team to actually go far. I think that if Jason Tatum was able to play like Jason Tatum in the finals a few years ago, they could have won that chip. Easily could have won that chip if Jason Tatum was Jason Tatum. And I think that this is the last year for them to figure this out before they blow up these two as a duo. And let's be honest. So I think the only thing that this team really needs to worry about is inconsistency. Health is a factor with Kristaps Porzingis, but I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good to go come playoff time. So the only thing that this team really needs to worry about is be consistent. Show up. Now let's talk about one of the most disappointing teams to me this season, the Milwaukee Bucks. I expected the Milwaukee Bucks to be a lot better of a team, integrating Dame into their game plan, but it just doesn't seem like it's happened as smoothly as I thought it would. I also thought that they would be a lot closer in record to the Celtics, but there's a pretty sizable gap. And the only problem I can think of with this team is Dame himself. I think Dame, he needs to figure out and integrate himself before playoff time, because if not, this team has no hope. They already don't have hope with this man, Doc Rivers, bro. Dog, destroy your team. Rivers will strike again. I promise you, this man is a tyrant to your team. But the Bucks kind of look good without Giannis sometimes. Dame, he's able to take over and he looks like vintage Dame, but I need to see that Dame when Giannis is playing. Not to mention they just got Chris Middleton back, so they have to integrate him, but this team has the depth that they need to really go far. I think that they could do it, but these two need to figure it out and lock in. Now, this is the last team I have for the Western Conference, and it's kind of an interesting team. So there's been talks about Joel Embiid coming back for the playoffs, and I believe that if Joel Embiid is able to come back for the playoffs, they can make a pretty good push. I don't think anyone in the East, scratch that, I don't think anyone in the league is going to be able to defend Joel Embiid. The major problem with this team is health, because Joel Embiid loves to get hurt, and 2, consistency, just like Tatum. This man, Joel Embiid, has all the talent in the world during the regular season. Get to playoff time, bro is stinking it up. Dog, translate, please. You're holding yourself from being an all-time great center, like an all-time great center, just because you can't translate in the playoffs. And I think that this team is now better suited without James Harden, and I think that they have the pieces to upset a Milwaukee, to give the Celtics a run for their money, because no one can really guard Joel Embiid. So all they have to do is stay consistent and stand packed. And I think that this team can easily make a push for the finals. But those are just the 9 teams that I really think that they could contend and make it to the finals and possibly win an NBA championship. Let me know if there's some teams that you think I miss, or some teams that shouldn't be on the list. NBA Sphinx, out.